Good morning. Good morning. Look, she's up. She's fresh face. She's got her makeup on this morning. She's hitting up Monday right. She's serving you some Monday realness. How are you? How are you guys? Good morning. Come and get up in here. Come and get in here for a cuddle. Welcome to the Show Up, Wise Up, Rise Up show in week. Is this week 17 now? I don't even know. Who's going to be the first to comment? Come and get in the comments. Come and say good morning. How are you doing? Are you ready to hit up the week this Monday? I am your host. I am the Queen Bee, Dani. Fearless leader of the I Am the Queen Bee movement, helping as many of you as possible out there show up, wise up, and rise up with this, my little show in the morning. Emma Roscoe, first off the post this morning, one of our regulars. How are you, my angel? Welcome to Monday, and welcome to this, our week's edition of, I don't know how many weeks we've been going now. Since the beginning of lockdown, we are definitely past, we're into month 5 now, which is crazy. Good morning, Charlotte, celebrating your son's 4th birthday. Happy birthday to your boy. I hope he has a lovely day. Good morning. Look at you, God. I'm feeling myself this morning. I've made a decision. I'm going to talk to you about the decision that I've made this morning. Good morning, Helen Ferguson, joining us from further afield in the world this morning, all coffeed up, ready to start the day. Well done. Morning. Day. Oh my God. Oh, right. So Annie's keeping track. Good morning. It's day 112. 112 on the Show Up, Rise Up show. Dani has put her makeup on. Good morning, Chanel. Hello, Kimberly. Good morning. Kimberly's got something exciting happening today. I will explain what Kimberly's got going on in just a sec. Kimberly, I want you to share your link to your challenge this week. It's super exciting. Joanne, good morning. Here she is, the Sassy McSasserson herself, joining us from Brum. Good morning, Joanne Smith. Hello to our regulars. Hello to anybody that's new. For those of us that are new, for those of us that have, or those of you that haven't come across me before, at the start of lockdown, I decided that the risk was very real for me to be staying in bed and not getting myself out of bed in the morning, other than to just roll out of bed and go to work. And I thought, you know what? A better incentive for me to get out of bed is to be accountable, and who better to be accountable than you guys? So every morning, Monday to Friday at 8 a.m, I've been going live in here with this, my fake telly show on the telly. You can cast this to your telly to make this feel like breakfast television if you want to. It's fine. Probably better than Piers Morgan having to do with somebody. Probably a little bit more positive than that, and probably sharing with you a little bit more wisdom than that. Emma is off to the barber's today to get my little guy's hair cut. He hasn't let me near it with the clippers. Well, considering that you are quite dangerous to yourself with clippers, Emma Roscoe shaved her head, as has Tracy Tolman, by the way, who looks incredible. Emma Roscoe shaved her head for the big festoon, which was God, can you believe, you guys, a month ago? It was a whole month ago that we did the big festoon. We raised £16,500 for domestic violence charities, which was just incredible. We had 12 incredible global entrepreneurs. We had 12 incredible celebrities joining me for a marathon of this. So what is this show all about? What is the show all about? Well, what I do is I help you get ready for the work day ahead of you. You can treat it like the radio, like a little radio show if you wanted to. You can just pop us on in the background. But I bring onto the show loads of different types of people and interview them and share their glory with you as well. So we have mindset experts coming through. We have business experts coming through. We have light working experts coming through. We have all sorts. We have advocates for different causes coming through. So many amazing people from the world of entertainment and business and personal development through here for you in the morning, for a little dose of positivity, a little dose of optimism, and a little dose of awesome. All right, Joanne, Dani Wallace, you look beautiful this morning. I'm so much better than Piers Morgan. Thank you very much. I'm sure if you found out about that, he would send a tweet to the contrary, but I'm all right for it. I'm gutted I can't stay along today as King Sassy's 50th birthday. Happy birthday, Jay. We're just opening prezzies with you live. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my darling. Congratulations on your 50th birthday. It is a bit shit in Norfolk, which brings me nicely onto the shit weather. So you can see behind me there is a map of the UK. I know we have a global audience, but at the time that we started, we didn't so much have a global audience. So I know some of you are watching all over the world. And if you are underrepresented, then give us a shout. We can represent you here. This is the shit weather. I am not a meteorologist. I am not a proper weather girl. However, one of the best ways to work out the weather, one of the best ways to share what is going on in your world is to pop your head out the window and have a little look. You guys, the weather in the UK, the weather in Preston this morning is this one. It's a bit shit. So that's what we're like in Preston. I want you to have a little look out the window and tell me, what is the weather like where you are? John, I'm looking a little this morning. Thank you very much. I thought to make an effort. I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. What am I doing? Why do I look so beautiful this morning? Why have I put my slap on? And I was just talking to our guest about this a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, he said, let's do the weather first, and I'll take you on to why I've decided to serve you some Monday realness this morning. It's a bit shit in Colwyn, but it's blowing a hoolie. Do you know what it is? It was a bit blowy. That's what we need, Joanne. We need a blowy bee. It's a bit shit in North Wales this morning. It is scorchy or Helen in the south of France, repping you up there underneath the compass. Underneath the compass. It's ruddy horrid. Now, is it a bit shit or is it rainy? Annie, tell me, which one is it? Are we raining or is it just a bit shit? It's just a bit shit in Preston this morning. Sunshine and blue skies in Hertfordshire. Scorchy or Charlotte, just above London, just north of Let's crack my nose then. There we go. I think you guys are about there, but sunshiny. I think we've got a warm bottom again. It's a bit shit in Staffordshire this morning. Oh, it's a bit shit. Let's do this. Let's move you up because I imagine it's a bit shit further north as well. Unless something crazy is at play. There we go. It's a bit shit in northwest this morning. Raining, blowing. It's a chilly mess. It was blowy last night. It's a bit shit. Oh, Sandra, it's a bit shit in Derbyshire this morning. We're going to pretend that, well, Derbyshire's in the middle, isn't it? Hang on. My bees are too big, look. I'm just going to assume. I'm not assuming. I know where Derbyshire is. It's up here, but I can't fit you in. It's a bit crap and grey in Manchester. I think the northwest is definitely represented up here. Where else are you in the world? It's a bit crap and grey. It's a bit shit there. Where else is it? Is it all right? Is it sunny anywhere apart from north of London and the south of France? What else? Where else are you watching from? There's almost 40 of you, just over 40 of you actually watching. Tell us, what is the weather like where you are? We're telling each other for no other reason that I get to stick my bees on the board. We can see up here that we have, and it's a bit shit front in the northwest and a warm bottom in the south of the country. See, I'd make a great weather girl. If anyone's going to put me on telly, you can put me on telly for any number of reasons. I am multi-talented. It's beautiful in Brighton. Sam Adams, our guest this morning, is telling us that it is beautiful. It's scorching in Brighton, just over here at this side of the country. So we definitely have a warm bottom happening in the UK this morning, and a bit shit front up at the top in the northwest. If you are anywhere else in the UK, please do let me know and I'll pop you a little bee on. In the meantime, why am I up so bloody early this morning? And here's what's happening, as I knew would happen. So as the weeks have been going on, the closer to 8 o'clock it's been getting, the later I've been getting up. So I've been rolling out of bed at 25 to 8. And I thought, you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to get up earlier because I need that space in the morning just to clear my head, to get my energy right for you guys, to get my energy right for our guests. So I've made a concerted effort now to plan in getting up earlier. So I'm going to let you know how that goes. I'm going to probably be waking up around 6 o'clock, 6:30ish. Make sure I am feeling fresh for the day. The bigger our audience grows, the more I want to be looking fly. So I decided, I was going to putting makeup on is part of my colouring in. So I don't know if any of you do anything mindful, if any of you do any kind of colouring in or, you know what I mean, don't you? Or knitting or anything you do to kind of meditate, if you will. Sometimes sitting still in meditation is a little bit difficult for somebody whose mind just doesn't stop. So when I put in makeup on, it allows me to just focus on one thing. So my eyebrows or my eyeshadow or my contouring or whatever. So yeah, as you know, makeup is my thing. It's been one of my things for a long time, as well as speaking and music and all that sort of stuff. It's sunny in the southeast. Thank you, Tina. Scorcher over here in the southeast. we'll pop a little bit on over there. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna make a concerted effort trying to make sure that things like my self-care cup is full. And it is with that in mind, I want to talk to you about our guest this morning. I've not known this lady very long. However, since she came into my life, and she came into my life in an immediate service, like she rocked up in my life and reached out directly to help when I was in a particular situation. And it's a testament to the incredible work that she does. So we are going to be talking to the incredible Sam Adams this morning. Are you ready? In lieu of the applause button, in lieu of us having a live audience, what I would love you to do is hit the like, hit the love button, and hit the share button as we welcome onto the show this morning, the show at Wise Rise show this morning, Sam Adams. Good morning.
Good morning. I'll give myself
yes, I know, that's it. We've got to give ourselves a round of applause until we get in front of a live studio audience. It's only a matter of time.
I normally get Alexa to do it. I'll just ask her to do it.
Alexa, play an applause. I would laugh.
On my lives for my group and that, I get Alexa to give them a round of applause when one of them does something amazing.
Stop it! You have just inspired me.
Yeah, do it. Brilliant.
I've got my little Google. I wonder if Google can do it. I've got a little dot up here. I wonder if
I don't know what it is. Is it?
I'll ask. We have a girl Google. I know you can set it to be a man, but we do have a girl Google.
Girl power.
Good morning, my darling. Good morning, and thank you for joining me on my show this morning. I'm so excited to have you on. My little cheekies are all excited. Look, they can't.
I've been looking forward to this for so long, since we spoke. I don't even know when it was. Couple of months ago. I don't know, but I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. So, Sam, tell everybody, how did we meet? Because it's so one of the lovely stories that I get to tell when I bring my friends onto the show, people that I'm connected with, is the story of how we met, because we meet in so many different ways and interesting ways. So the story of how we met is bloody. Well, it was lovely for me. It was terrible at the time, but it was lovely.
Yeah, and I love what you just said there about how we meet, because I'm fascinated about people and connection and stuff like that. And yeah, we meet some people, don't we, in some weird and wonderful ways. But we met just around, I can't remember when it was, you were doing the big cartoon.
A month ago, like directly a month ago.
Bloody hell, right, okay. And there was a load of stuff going on about Black Lives Matters. Obviously being black myself, that was a big issue for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, you came into your world, I don't know, into my world, I don't know how. I can't even remember how. And I just saw this incredible woman who, with this massive personality, hurting, I guess. And I started to read some of the comments and what was going on. And I just really felt for you. I just really felt for you. And I just felt compelled to reach out and just say, hey, you know, if you want to chat, or, you know, I'm not sure all of this is really appropriate, what's being said here. And I just want to reach out to you. And that's what I did. And we had an amazing conversation.
And we did have an amazing conversation. And it is, so when we met, I did the big festoon, and one of the key parts of organising the big festoon was to try and have as diverse a lineup as possible. However, within the week, so this is the very same week that we did the big festoon, the whole of the Black Lives Matter movement began to mobilize. It was the week directly after George Floyd got killed. The conversations were getting more intense. There were more protests, and rightly so. It was, you know, it's all right and absolutely right and proper. However, as feelings run high during these times, as they do, it's very difficult for groups of people that have had different lived experiences to meet each other sometimes when things are fraught. And as a result, I got a bit of backlash with regards to my lineup. So in my mind, my lineup was diverse for a number of different reasons, not just for one reason. So I was trying to get people of varying abilities, people of varying backgrounds, people of varying races, people of varying sexualities. Like, so we was as well represented as possible in the 4 weeks that we had to kind of create it. And what you did was reach out when you didn't need to, because the thing is, like, where I stand, I'm standing within a fuck ton of privilege. So there are many people out there, or there would be, you know, a whole group of people out there that would think, well, do you know what? That's just a little flavour of what, as but particularly Black women, Sam, go through on a continual and generational basis. So do you know what? Sit in your discomfort a little bit. But what you did instead is what I don't know. What I think we should be doing is coming together and trying to work out ways forward together instead of going, ha, see, this is what we've got going on. Like, I don't understand because I don't live it, but I get that that's what's going on. I want to help, and I'm thinking, well, fuck. What do I do? What do I do now? And you and a number of other people who I had just come across, or not just come across, members of the Black community came forward and reached out a helping hand when at that time I didn't feel like I deserved it even. You know, I was quite happy to sit in it and think, fuck, well, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is right and proper for me to feel a little bit of it so I can have a degree of empathy. But you were so kind to me. So thank you. And working out ways forward for this is the important thing, isn't it?
That's the most important thing. It's just working together. And, you know, I'm not a believer. I hate confrontation. I don't like to argue or anything like that. But I believe that we can have debates and we can have conversations and difficult conversations without falling out. You know, if you can't go to somebody that you've got a connection with and have a difficult conversation, then without falling out, then really what value is there in that relationship? That's kind of a little bit where I'm at. But what I saw was all of this backlash, which I just thought, well, actually, this huge personality, this woman is actually trying to do some good here. We might be just making it, you know, it felt like we were making the whole situation worse. We had an advocate, an ally that was getting a whole battering. That was just my perception. I'm not saying that's every Black person's perception, but that's just my perception at the time. And I just thought, actually, we could do some good here.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Change here. This is somebody that is okay to feel uncomfortable about this. Is okay to go, you know what, fucked up, or oh, do you know what I mean? But actually, I'm your ally, and I want to support you, and and I'm anti-racist, not just, oh, I'm not a racist. I'm actually anti-racist, and I'm willing to stand up and to be heard and to speak up. And that's what I saw in you, right? And I just thought, actually, you know what it's like. We get beaten down. We get unjust. What's the word? What's the word, Dani? Don't know. Yeah. And that's what I saw. I just looked a bit unfair to me. It just looked a balance. But like I said, that's my perception.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we can only come at these things with our own, from where we are in the world, just with trying to understand. And how have you found the week since? Because we knew that this particular thing would happen, is that there would be this tsunami of emotion, this huge output, everybody clamoring over. It's the same with everything, clamoring over themselves to position themselves. And then actually that tsunami starts to pull back a little bit. And then what? Like, the silence is becoming deafening again, almost. There's it's carried a few people through.
Yeah, that's true, because the dust settles, doesn't it? You know, I've been on like our local BBC Radio Sussex and Surrey loads lately, about 5 times, talking about different things, a bit like about Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. But I was on Thursday night, and we were talking about that a little bit then, about how all the emotions have sort of died down a little bit now, and we're left with the dust settling. And it's what happens from here. It's still keeping the narrative. It's still keeping it out there in the media. You know, even for me, you know, if anyone goes on my normal Facebook timeline, June the 1st, I'll never forget it. I normally show up. I got more energy than Tigger. I got energy. You know, that's who I am. But I did a Facebook Live on June the 1st in the evening. I remember June the 1st, I was like, it's my birthday month. I'm giving away a load of crap and I'm doing all this. And I was super hyped. By 2 o'clock that day, I was on my boot. I was in my boots. And then 6 o'clock that night, I went live and I did a 30-minute Facebook Live about Black Lives Matter and what it was like for me. And my mum is Black, my dad is white. I grew up in Dorset. So we were pretty much the only Black family and Black kids. So that was quite tough emotionally. And I did this whole Facebook Live around that, and so I was completely emotional, and I was seeking out information and contacting people, and I was all over it. As a family, we were talking about it, which we'd never spoken about it before, because that was how I was raised, not to talk about it, just to hold my head up high and just don't confront anyone, just don't say anything. So even for me, from the 1st of June to the 6th of July, the emotions have settled and subsided, but I still want to keep the conversation going. And it's not good enough, or it's not good enough. It's not enough for people like me to keep speaking up. We need people like you to to keep speaking up. You're there, aren't you? Right.
It's all turned around.
We need, because Black people have been trying to be heard for generations. So we need the white folk to do a bit of that as well, please, just to help us, support us. And that's what I saw in you anyway. And you're right, the emotions and the narrative is definitely tied down. That's what happens. But I still see loads of it out there. I still see it happening. I've still got, luckily some really, because most of my friends are white, because I grew up in Dorset. I live in Brighton. Brighton's not that diverse, so most of my friends are white. A lot of my business colleagues, I've got, I've got more diversity in my business colleagues. I do see a lot of my white friends speaking up and continuing to speak up, and that's what we need, although the dust has settled. So I'm doing stuff myself. I've certainly immersed myself, or not immersed, but I've certainly, because like I say, my parents didn't talk to us about, the background and culture. My mum was very quiet about all of those things. So I'm having to have a history lesson almost, because it wasn't taught in school. I didn't hear about it at home. It was almost like it didn't exist. We just ignore it or go away. And so I'm having to educate myself.
And did you find that because of this, I've spoke to a number of my friends, a number of my Black friends about this, is that in not talking about it, it made it, not that it made it okay, because the behaviors that I can only imagine that you will have experienced, in not talking about it, it's almost like it's not so bad, so I'm just putting up with it. And that is the things that we need to be smashing through now for our kids, and making sure that, if we're talking about the tsunami coming back, and we're kind of left, the dust has settled a little bit now, the work now is the lobbying, and the work now is the organization, and so now we've got this kind of everyone's like put their cards on the table, here we are. People were showing themselves quite, it was we got to see who was who in the last 4 weeks. People show themselves, whereas for years and years and years, people would only show themselves at certain points. So now's the time to be lobbying for better education in schools. Because that's the biggest change that we can have, isn't it? We can have, the biggest change within schools. Lobbying and protesting and continuing all of that sort of stuff is the stuff that we need to be doing now that the emotion is out, and we've had this like big sort of outpouring. Okay, so now the fuck what do we do? How do we mobilize? It would be interesting as our conversations go on to know.
It will see, and it's keeping it on the table. Not, like I say, I'm aware of, I've got a very good friend who's an activist, and she's just lobbying, and she will not give up the fight. And she's white, she's not Black. It's education. I've been asked by Brighton and Hove City Council to do an intersectional piece, because I'm gay as well, so I'm Black and gay, so I'm doing a piece for Brighton and Hove around that, about what it's like to be Black and gay, and also what it's like to grow up in a white community, being Black, because some people look at me, well, you've got a white dad and a Black mum, you're mixed race, and I'm like, when I look in the mirror, I see a Black person. That's
totally
it.
Hear you.
So absolutely. So the work is starting to happen, and there are things that are happening. Like I say, Brighton and Hove commissioned this piece for me to do, which I'm really excited to do. And it's just keeping things on the table, in getting more stuff in schools spoken about, education. Like my brand is It Starts With You. That's my coaching and mentoring company.
I'm so excited to talk to you about this, by the way. Like I can't wait.
But what Brighton and Hove have come to me and said, can we use that in this thing that, that we want you to do? So, and I've come up with this thing with like just 4 or 5 words. So it starts with you, ask. So ask a friend, ask a relative, ask your black friend, or go find one and ask. It starts with you. Listen to other people's conversations, and if you hear it, shout it out. Racist comments, you know, and just listen to what's going on around you. It starts with you. Watch, you know, watch people's interactions, watch people's conversations, but go watch the telly, Netflix, YouTube. There's so much stuff out there. So it all starts with you and all these words that we're going to put into a little video and create something. And that's what people need to do. If you want to do anything, you want to be an ally, or speak up when you hear racism, get out there and educate yourself, because that's what I'm having to do, and listen to other people's conversations around you, and watch what are you ingesting, you know, with your eyes and your ears. What are you listening to? What are you taking in? Educate yourself. You know, you cannot get yourself educated on this subject from social freaking media.
No, because you're in an echo chamber as well. When you're on social media, you're only with what you surround yourself with in social media, and that's really hard to change in terms of algorithm overnight. If you need to know stuff and know stuff quick, you need to look outside. Like, the conversation will start in social media for sure, but if you're in an echo chamber, you need to get out of that echo chamber and go and see and go and find out and go and read and go and Google is your friend for the most part. It's all there. All of this amazing information is there at your fingertips. It doesn't take that. Netflix have a whole category now that they've created for, you know, black history or black education, or, you know, black led. It's all there for you.
It's brilliant now. It's really, really good, you know. And like I say, even for me, from a personal level, because I didn't grow up with that. I wasn't encouraged to understand about my mum's background and where she grew up in our culture. And so for me, you know, even for me, just going on Netflix and seeing, wow, you know, I watched 13th. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the first thing I watched.
Just filling up the prisons. If you guys haven't seen this, by the way, go and watch 30, because it talks about the transition of the slave trade into the prison trade, which is exactly what it is, and the difference between the prison population now and the prison population, you know, 50 years ago. And everybody has got a price tag on their head. Everybody is a commodity that is in there, and they are filling it with black people, and it's crazy just how open it is, just how obvious it is when you look at it. And it's only when you go and educate yourself that you know, start to find out about these things. And
ignorance is an awful thing. When we speak, we come from a position of ignorance, you know, whether that's around being gay, or whether that's black, or any subject really, you know. So don't get you. All I would say is to people is just, you know, educate yourself. A lot I'm having to do, you know. I know what it's like to live in black skin and feel uncomfortable in every room you walk in, you know, because I grew up in that environment. There was no other black people. So you walk in the gym hall, you're the only black kid. You walk into class, you're the only black kid. You walk down the street, you're the only black person. It's uncomfortable. You know, I grew up like that, being pretty uncomfortable, and then thinking, shit, I'm also weird because I like like, honestly, Dani, I felt like a complete fucking freak. And it was horrible. You know, at the time, you're just kind of trying to survive, aren't you? You're just trying to survive.
Yeah, trying to get your head around yourself, let alone your position in the whole of the world.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And then,
being, you know, growing up, being a teenager and beginning to, especially exploring your sexuality at the best of times, is hard work.
I mean, I grew up, I always say I'm going to write a book called The Great Pretender, because I pretended everything was all right and it wasn't. It was I'm dying inside. You know, my childhood it wasn't, don't get me wrong, look, other people have been, you know, there's other black people that lived in white communities, there's other black gay people. You know, I was also abused as a child, so I had all of that going on. So, you know, I look back on that and I realised I was a fucking mess.
I hear you. So it's extraordinary when I have these particular conversations with members of the IAT QB community, IAT LGBTQ community, and members of the black community, and people that have experienced abuse, and people that have experienced varying degrees of adversity, and adversity is subjective. However you deal with it, you pay your outcomes forward and you get to choose what outcomes they are. What is incredible that I find time and time again is often that survivors serve. So people who have survived a situation, so in my particular case it was surviving domestic abuse. In your particular situation, you pay your strengths forward with regards to being a member of the LGBTQ community, being a Black person, and the work that you do now is just that. You are one of those serving survivors that are paying forward these incredible strengths. Tell us about what you do now, because it is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hate the term life coach.
I get it.
I don't like it. I hate it. But anyway, I think I've managed to claim this title somehow. But some people call me a mindset coach, a life coach, a business coach. I don't know. But it's real life. I help people with real life problems. I've had adversity, like I said, and all I do now is I use the lessons, I guess, from those experiences of having that abuse from sort of in my primary school years, growing up and feeling, weird, odd, like an out of body experience almost. And then all of the experiences, even into my adult. I've got 2 adopted children. I've got special needs. I've got all of that. I've got loads of sort of experiences of life, and I've been in business for 20 years. And I just use all of that now to help people with real life shit. It's real life, so let's deal with it. Let's not fanny about with it. People don't come to me if they want a coach or a mentor that's got letters and numbers after the name.
Right.
That ain't me. I support and coach from a place of lessons and experience. And majority of my one-to-one clients are generally sort of business owners, female sort of solo entrepreneurs, small business or a micro business. And then I run a couple of groups. So I've got a membership called the Real Life Club. And that's, because my big thing is, like, it doesn't matter where you come from. Right. You can create a better life. You can create a better future. It's up to you. It starts with you. And once you take on that message for yourself, it starts with you, then that is really quite freeing. Instead of blaming the establishment and blaming someone else, when you go, actually, it starts with me. I'll take responsibility, because that's all I can control is me. Honestly, it's freeing. And then you can, you can create a better life. You can create a better day. I always say to my guys, today is the most important day of your life.
Right. It's so true.
It's gone. That's gone. It's done. Don't carry tomorrow into today. It's a new day. It's the most important day of your life. Let's make it a freaking good one. If I wake up feeling 2 out of 10, don't get me wrong. Some people are like, how you get up and feel so good and you're so energized. Trust me, I don't always wake up like that.
I get that a lot. How do you have so much energy? Or some days no, we don't have all of the energy. So how do you turn it back up again? So you're waking up at a 2. It happens to every single person in the world. If people, regardless of their energy, would be a liar if they turn around and go, every single day I wake up at 10, I go out and crush it. I do it. All right then. We have down days. How do you dial it back up again?
Because it was funny, because we were talking before we came on this live, and you were saying you get up early, but I'm massively big on morning routines and habits and sort of structures and stuff like that, which isn't me, because I'm a Gemini. I like spontaneity, I like variety. So building routines and daily habits, it seems a bit alien, but it works.
Yes, it does.
Getting up early, like if you're driven, like you're a driven individual.
A little bit.
Come on. You've got a plan. Come on.
Yes.
If you achieve certain things in your life, then you've got to get up early. And some people say to me, we were having this conversation in one of the groups and talking about their struggle to get up. And I'm like, for me, it's like, I've only got this day. Today is all I've got. And I don't want to waste my life lying in bed till 10, 12, 11 o'clock. And then I've only got so many hours of this day left. So for me, that's part of my psychology. But I've just worked on myself so much about that. It's scientifically proven that us human beings have more bandwidth in the morning.
Right.
That's not Sam Adams speak. That's scientific.
Yeah, it's absolutely absolutely science. You wake up in the morning, your bandwidth bank account is full. So everything that happens throughout the course of the day depletes that bank account. So the later in the day that you get, the less bandwidth you have, the less capable you are. And some people are night owls, I get it.
Yeah, they are. But even I've spoken to people and worked with people that have been night owls, and then suddenly have managed. They're like, "Oh no, I'm not getting up early, Sam. I'm not doing all that shit." And I'm like, "Come on, just bear with me." And they've changed their routine, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm getting up at
So
5.
much more.
So much done, and I've gone for a run, and I've set up the day, and the kids aren't even up yet, or whatever." So it can, if you want to be a night person, you're going to say, "I'm a night."
You've got to choose, aren't you? Yeah, absolutely. And again, it starts with the decision that you make around it. But there have been so many studies that have been done. Hal Elrod with the Miracle Morning, he went and studied, hundreds and hundreds of key successful people in the world, and they all do the same 6 things, don't they? They get up early in the morning, they write down or journal, they visualize, they affirm, they exercise, they all of these things, and one of the key things is getting the fuck up in the morning.
Get the fuck up early, Dani. Come on.
No, right, I'm on it.
You need to be. I did a 30-day program that started on the 29th of June, and it's called 30 Days to a Happier, Stronger, Kick-Ass You. So they all have to be checked in by 9 o'clock. I wanted it done by 7, but I thought I better be a bit easier with these guys. They're new to my world. I'll give them till 9 to check in. But yeah, get up, check in, get on it. So if you wake up feeling like, I always ask my guys, how do you feel out of 10 when they jump on my lives? And by the time they see me, I'm an 8.5, I'm a 9. But I look for a consistent 8, because I think 10 out of 10 is for those moments in life, like when you get married.
Yeah. You've got to have something to aim for. You can't live at a 10. Otherwise, how can you appreciate a 10?
Exactly. And they're euphoric moments, aren't they? So you can't feel a 10 out of 10 all the time.
Right.
So I look for a sustainable 8. I want to live my life around an 8.
With an 8 with potential for more.
Exactly. For a euphoric moment during the day or something like that. So I'm always looking to sort of feel about an 8 out of 10. But I always say to my guys and everyone I talk to, it's like, we're going to wake up in the morning. You might feel 2 out of 10. You might have had a sleep shit. Sleep shit.
A sleep shit? That's a different thing altogether. You have to clean yourself up first and then start the day.
You might have slept shit and feel like 2 out of 10. And what are you going to, like last week, I had a couple of days where I woke up, I was like, I'm a 5 or 6 out of 10 this morning. I need to. So the beauty of the morning routine is that it shifts your levels. It moves the needle, as I say. We managed to move the needle more towards a 10. And that's getting up and doing some of those things that you said. Having a purpose in life definitely helps you get out of bed early.
Yeah.
And there's no excuse for that, really. If you say, I can't because I've got this job and I've got that, you have got a choice. The trouble is, most people say they haven't got a choice because they don't want to deal with the consequences of that choice.
Yeah, or they don't want to have to do the work. Because sometimes when you have got a life purpose, and it was only when I really got to grips with mine that things started taking off for me, is when I actually understood what I wanted to do with my life, not just what I wanted to do to earn money to survive. Once I got all of the shitty bits sorted in my life, when I was thinking about, okay, so how do I give back? That's when the snowball really started to take off for me, and what I was, what we were doing with the IATKB community, the IATKB movement, and all of that. It's when you get a purpose, you then have a reason to get out of bed. Shorter purposes, shorter goals help you get out of bed. But the work that is involved has meant that over the past 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, really, because I was singing as well, is saying no to things. It's saying, actually, there is a degree. I can't stay up late tonight. I can't go to this party. I can't go out drinking. I can't do these things, because if I do that, it's going to infringe on the things that I want to do. Really want to do. And is it a lie-in in the morning or a holiday in the Maldives do I want? And if the answer is a holiday in the Maldives, then I'm going to have to get the fuck up. I've got to do the work.
I want to go to the Maldives, by the way. That's on my list.
Let's go to the Maldives, right? We'll go to the Maldives, but we've got to get up in the morning.
No, but it is true. You have to, I think it's valuing the outcome. So So you've got to have something to aim for, because therefore when you value that outcome, you're more motivated to get up, because motivation doesn't last at the end of the day. That's why I have habits and routines and structures in place, because I'm super motivated for life and for helping people, but I can't stay motivated all the time. And that's where creating these positive habits it becomes habitual. All these little routines they become habitual. You become disciplined, so that on the days when you really don't feel like it, which is always the day that you need to do it the most, by the way, you just go and do it anyway, because you value the outcome, you've created great habits and discipline, and you'll just go and get it. And those are the days when you're more likely to feel more euphoric, because you're like, I felt like shit this morning, I didn't want to do it, but I went and did it anyway.
Right. And it's worth remembering, that's one of the things that definitely I think about, is that on the days when, you are maybe a 2 or a 3 and you've got all this stuff to do, and you actually go, no, I'm not allowing myself to unpack here. If I don't sit down and do it, I'm going to really be fucked off. So on the days that you do feel like that and you do it, you feel even better afterwards, and then you thank yourself. On the days that you feel like that and you don't do it, you beat yourself up, and then you go, I've just wasted the day. So there's no win. There's no win to unpack there.
There isn't, and that's what I say to people is like, imagine if you don't go and do it, how are you going to feel?
Yeah.
You're going to carry that with the rest of your day, and you're 2 out of 10. You might shift it to a little 3 or something, but you're going to feel pretty shit, because you should have gone and worked out, or you should have gone and done your gratitudes and done X, Y, Z to make yourself feel better, and you didn't do it, and you're going to feel pretty shit throughout the day. So I think it doesn't matter where you wake up in the morning, how you're feeling, 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10, whatever. I always believe you can move the needle. There's always a way to move the needle, but you've got to be willing, and you've got to value the outcome. So that's where you have to find your purpose, or not necessarily purpose, because I don't.
Yeah, I get what.
But find your thing. Find something that you really value, and get that into your day, and get that into your life, because that definitely helps with getting up early and getting out.
Right, absolutely. So, Sam, I say you call yourself, you are the real life coach. You deal in real life. It's not about, having airy fairy outcomes or whatever. Are you a member of the Woo clan? Do you subscribe to Woo, or are you more pragmatic? Like, where do you sit on the Woo scale? I'm interested, because so many people in this business it's like a sliding scale of Woo to that's a load of bullshit. And I'm interested to find out where you sit.
I'm not particularly woo-woo. I don't think you'd be surprised to hear that, to be honest with you.
And I love it.
Like, there's a couple of my guys on this live. I'm just looking on my phone. You need to ask them. I'm not particular, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I've tried a few things, but I even struggle to meditate.
Right.
But I'm going to do a challenge within my real life club. One of the things I'm going to do, because I know a lot of people struggle to meditate.
Yes.
And I've heard so many, like I've obviously got a coach. All good coaches have coaches.
Yeah.
And even my coach is a bloke. He's this big, tall, strapping bloke, and he's really well known he's well known actually. And even he meditates, and I'm thinking, shit, if he's doing it, I need to be doing it. But that's the one for me. Meditation is a bit woo, right? But I actually do want to do. I do really want to try and crack that one. I think it's because I've got so much going on in my head. Yeah,
I think the meditation thing, I think when you first enter in, my husband's very much of it's a bit woo. For me, meditation was the key to unlocking freedom from my anxiety. So instead of me thinking, I'm going to meditate on something, I'm going to make stuff happen, it's like manifestation, so to speak, wasn't really what I was meditating. I was meditating to try and shut whatever was going on in here up, especially when I weren't feeling well a number of years ago. And for me, meditation was the ability to become a voyeur of your thoughts instead of being an active participant in them. And as soon as I understood what that was and the science behind that, you're saying about bandwidth at the beginning of the day, when you're in the middle of your thoughts, it's really fucking noisy, especially if you're driven, especially if you're like us, you're like bouncing all over the place and you've got ideas and you're in flow a lot of the time and life is happening to you. It's really hard to have like reflection space, but the being silent was really scary at first. I couldn't think, oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do we do now? So I started like paying, like instead of like sitting and meditating, I just put my makeup on, like
meditation.
Yeah, or go for a really long drive where I didn't have to really think about it. I just to be on the motorway for a long time.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
actually it was in those periods of kind of nothing, but I had to be engaged in something,
yeah,
was
yeah,
when I started to learn how to, but instead of thinking, oh, I've just got to sit there going, I
yeah.
don't really get this at all. It feels
Yeah, that's
uncomfortable.
really interesting that you said, because I run, like I've always run. I've always, done sport throughout my life. I'm a big proponent with my one-to-one clients that they have to do some kind of activity, even if it's brisk walk. If they rock up and they're 10 stone overweight, I'm just going to get them to do a 10-minute brisk walk every day. They've got to do something. The body's designed to move. But I do a lot of running, and in some of my darkest times, that's when I've run the most. So that kind of makes sense. That's like I have really good time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
whatever you do that allows you to just be.
yeah. But the sitting still bit, like, I'm terrible at. I just like can't do it.
It's a practice. I understand that I get that it's a muscle, and it's taken me a while to be able to. I've got to have guided meditation. I think sitting there in silence, I just end up falling asleep. I don't, if that's not meditation, that's just relaxing. That's different, isn't it?
Siesta.
Yeah. I love it. I love a nap. I'm like, I'm here for a nap, but I'm sure again, it's like when I was saying to you this morning, I think it's more to do with my energy levels than it is anything else.
Yeah.
But the sitting there and being a voyeur of your thoughts when you're running is actually what you're doing. You're doing the movements, like your body's engaged in something, but you're actually in here more than you are anywhere else, and it allows you to process stuff. So I get that.
I think one thing that I find with activity, and that I say, is that when you're running or doing a brisk walk or whatever your movement is, if your body's busy doing that activity, the mind calms and quietens down.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense, so that for me, like I said, when there's been challenges in my life or adversity, I've always found that I've gone and ran. Like my sister's partner died, and tragically out of the blue, 2005, and she had a little baby, like 3-month-old baby.
Oh.
We were all living in the same house, so it was
right.
My kids were like 4 years old then, so it was a horrific time. And I always remember that time, and I just ran and ran and ran and ran. I'd run and cry because of pain.
Yeah.
But but actually quieten the mind in lots of ways. It was kind of calm ability. I was able to think, calmer.
Clear, yeah,
clearer. Yeah, I guess it was just running and that meditative. Running for me is a rhythm. There is rhythm in running, and when you get in a flow, if you're not running, maybe you don't understand it. But when if you like to run, you can get these moments where you're in like that state of flow, and it just feels like you could run and run.
Your best ideas, or or you suddenly get hit with inspiration, and that's meditation in itself. In and of itself, is exactly what it is. And you can see why people get addicted to running.
Yes,
they don't feel like themselves and it's just like when people find a different vehicle or a different way into meditation, they get addicted to it because it's where they have their best thoughts, it's where they think the clearest. And it's a misconception to think you've got to sit there in silence. Kimberly's just saying here, Kimberly, with some, I tried open eye meditation recently. Have you heard of this?
No.
Open eye meditation is where, imagine you're looking at a magic eye picture. Right. And you are seeing, but you're not paying attention. So you've almost like if you've got your eyes open and you can see in your periphery, and you make your job to notice your periphery. So right now I'm looking in the corner of my room. I can see, I can see my ring light to either side, my curtains over here, but I'm just focusing on one dot, but I'm allowing myself to notice what's happening around. And that's, it allows your brain not to be so scared of the black that you get when you close your eyes, because that's what I get scared of. I'm like, oh God, just step away from death here. I'm all right for it.
Is maybe I'm open to this stuff. I'm open to anything, to be honest with you. I looked into Buddhism a bit, like SGI Buddhism, and that's chanting, and I did some of that. But I wasn't actually having to completely switch off. I actually got to chant, and I found that quite useful for a period of time. I'm open to trying meditation. That's why I said within the club, I'm definitely going to do a meditative thing, because I've heard so many people say how amazing it is. I really want to get on top of it, and I've tried it for probably 6, 7 times, and you know, I've not just done it once and thought, oh well, I can't do that. I have really tried. So I'm determined now that I'm gonna crack this.
I'm gonna get the meditation. So if, say for example, we was to join your group, what sort of things would we expect in there? What sort of things do you do with your group, with your members, to help them, you know, get on top of their shit?
Yeah, sort shit out. Well, you know, the big, we set up routines. So like in the new group that we've got at the moment, which is, you know, I'm setting up a new structure for the Real Life Club, and it's daily check-ins. It's setting those daily intentions. You know, having a bit more of an intentional day, because if you get up in the morning, you roll out of bed when you feel like it, and the day will drive you if you have no intention, if you set no goals and no targets. You know what that's like, right, Dani?
Yeah, it's more like this. Like, what the fuck happened? It's 10 o'clock at night. I just woke up.
And the thing is, you know, you go through your day, things happen to you. Someone rings you up, could you do this for me? Or could you get that for me? Or could you, you know, and if you've got no intention set in your day, suddenly you're pulled here, there, everywhere. Gets to the end of the day, you've achieved fuck all. But it's been July the 6th, 2020. And that day's never coming back around again. And what have you done with that day? Lost it aside. So when you come into the Real Life Club, there's structure to it. So it's a check-in before 9. I want to bring that bit back a bit. But
do it day. It's better if you're watching. It's better if you do it a bit earlier. 9 o'clock is already happened. Like you've had a day go already.
Yeah, I'm just too nice. But I appreciate, you know, that not everyone.
Ease people in, though, babe. Ease people in.
Yeah. Then we're going to get to 8. Then we're going to get to 7.
Right?
So it's the first thing in the morning. It's like it's probably, we do this Monday to Friday. So this is the most important part of being in there. Really, is that micro accountability, that micro check-in. So you check in. I'm up, and these are my intentions for today. That could be, I'm going to drink 2 liters of water today, because you're not really a water drinker and you know your water intake needs to be up. I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes. I'm going to read 30 minutes, or I'm going to make sure I spend half an hour with my parents, because there are certain areas of our life that we need to make sure that we're focused on, you know, finances, relationships, emotion, how we are emotionally, how we are, our fitness and our health. Our time management is super important. So those are the kind of areas that we focus on, and the intentions are built around that. It's not a to-do list. It's things that we know we need adjusting and need a little bit of a stretch.
And if you take even like half a step, we say this often, that you've got, you know, you set your intentions for the day, and even if you don't manage all of them, but you've taken half a step in that direction, you're still closer when you go to bed at night to where you want to be than you were when you woke up in the morning. Exactly. So many people have this massive big long to-do list and like, oh, I didn't tick all the things off my to-do list today. Like what a bad person I am. I didn't really hit yourself with a should stick like this. Or I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have. And you're like, if you just look, and if you've ticked something off that list, you are closer than where you were this morning to going where you want to be. And having those intentions is, I get you with intentions. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, Tracy's just said on here, do 8 a.m.
That's it now. Your audience are like, oh God, we were just getting used to 9.
But again, like with the one-to-one clients, because most of my one-to-one clients are business owners, so they're trying to get better results or improve their business or whatever. Because I always work especially with the one-to-one stuff, it's personal development leads to business development, and I also say self-development leads to life development. So those are my kind of couple of angles. So with the one-to-one stuff, they have to have 3 objectives for the day, and those 3 objectives need to move them forward to where it is that they say they want to be. You know, again, that's not a to-do list. That's set some really good objectives. But within the club, so we have the Monday to Friday check-in. We have Tuesday night, we have a Q&A, so it's rock up and ask me anything. We do a live Zoom session once every 4 weeks. We do a quarterly meetup where we all get together. Saturdays we put in a timetable. It's not in detail, it's just so that you can see where you're spending your time and what you're spending your time on. So it's like making sure you get time for yourself in, making sure you're getting that family time in, that business time in, that personal development time. So it's good just to have a vague sort of timetable.
Yeah, you can see what's being hoovered then. When are you dicking about, really? When are you dicking about?
If you don't manage it, you can't measure it. You know, so we manage what we measure, and this is a measure. And then on Sundays we do like a review. So we review the previous week and we plan for the week ahead. Again, it's like setting these intentions of living intentionally. When you live intentionally,
right,
you honestly will have a better life. When you take responsibility, you will become your best self.
yes.
And I know sorry, I'm talking a lot. I do that a lot.
I need you to talk a lot. You mean it's not like it's about you. Tell me, talk to me.
But I know a client said to me just last week, she said, when you started going on about all that take responsibility for everything, she said, I didn't fucking like that. And I'm like, yeah, most people don't. She said, but actually, do you know what? Now I get it. She said, now I get it. I'm responsible for my actions, my life, and my, you know, how I respond to people has an impact on what happens going forward. So she said, I'm all in on my actions and behaviors and all of that now. And I'm like, yeah. I know it's not easy for people to hear, even for me. You know, I'm talking about this shit because I've lived this shit. You know, I didn't want to take responsibility. When you get dumped or your marriage breaks down, you know, I've had 2 marriages break down. That's fucking hard. But the minute you stop blaming and complaining and just take responsibility, you can't control them. Just control the controllables. You can't control them or their behaviors, and take responsibility. Then it's liberating and it's freeing, and that's a bit of a message within the club as well. I want everyone to live the best freaking life possible, to make today as good as it can be. And when we live intentionally, when we set some good routines and habits in place, it gives us every chance of shifting the needle.
Yeah, and it's those little shifts in it. It's not a fixing everything in one go situation either. Like shifting the needle, moving the dial, turning it up a little bit every day, turning it around a little bit every day. And yes, you will get thrown curveballs. Yes, things will happen to you. But, and this is something I share even with my kids. They hate it when I say this, by the way, but your reactions dictate your outcomes every single time in whatever situation. I got like my kids are like, they'll be crying, they're furious, they're really mad. Right, what do your reactions dictate right now? My outcomes. They hate it. But it's so true. It's so true. If that's the only thing I can teach my kids, it's the only thing I can teach my kids. Is that your reactions dictate
them. You know, I learned through you know, conflict, sadly, that actually you've got to learn to respond and not react. And when emotions are high, so emotional regulation is something, again, I talk about a fair bit, because if you can learn to manage and regulate your emotions, you're going to have better relationships, you're going to have a better life. If you can't regulate your emotions, you're always like far off that angry text.
And you think you're responding in defense, or people are responding and aggression towards you, and it becomes itself. You end up being a snowball of anger, and you don't. Actually, if you're able to reflect and, you know, don't respond to things in anger and respond to things in a pragmatic way. And we was talking to Jodie Salt from the Ladies Life Lounge on, I think it was Thursday, last week, about actually what does assertiveness mean. And assertiveness means, yes, respecting your boundaries, but it's listening with respect in the first instance and trying to think about the other person in the first instance, and then understanding, acknowledging them, and then bringing you to the table. And if you go like, what's the right thing to do here by everybody, you know, you
if you do it the other way around, it's almost like bullying. You know, if you don't listen, you know, and take on their feelings and their perspective, and you're just trying to get, you know, being assertive.
You're trying to be right at each other.
You're
trying to be right at each other. So I can't, like, this hour has gone so quick. I can't believe we're running out of time. It's been crazy. But right, but we have gone through all of the things this morning. It's been amazing talking to you, Sam. How does everybody get? Like, we want to hang out with you more. How do we hang out with you more?
Hang out with me more. Come, I need to get you on one of my lives, but you're on here every morning at 8 o'clock for an hour. I normally go live about 8:30, so.
I'd have to have a super short show, or I tell you what, I've got a holiday in August, and I've got some people coming in to host the show for me. So I might sneak a little one in whilst I'm on my holiday just for you.
Where are you going?
Well, we don't know yet, because we've only just had we were originally going to go UK, but we don't know yet. We
I'm
don't know.
going abroad. I'm still. I'm used to sort of spending a lot of time in Spain, so I've actually.
I'm itching to get on a plane and go somewhere. I know not everybody feels like that right now, but for me, I had COVID right at the start of lockdown.
Oh really?
Yeah, so we had that. So our house had it, if you will. We had the like red mark over, but we wasn't horrifically poorly. But because I've got the antibodies now, this morning I'm off to Lancaster to go and give blood plasma for people that are convalescing from COVID. So we've had it. So I'm like itching to get out there now. I feel safe, and I'll be careful for everybody.
So I'm waving at people saying it's nice to meet you, Sam. I'm like,
I love it. So many people have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation this morning. How do our audience like find you? Because I would love you to put some links in the comments.
Yeah, I will do. I'll just pop this link in, which is just I don't know if that's come up, but that's just to my membership, which isn't actually open at the moment.
So you can get on the wait list though, can you?
They can get on the wait list if they go there. But either way, just go to samadams.com. You can find me. Sam Adams, It Starts With You is my business page. I'll put that in the comments. Just go look that up. There's no capital letters. Sorry, I'm rubbish.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. And if anybody wants to reach out to Sam, I'm sure Sam will be open to,
please. I'm always reaching out to people. Reach out to me. I always say to people, give anybody a 15, 20-minute conversation, even though my diary's ramble like yours is probably, you know what it's like. But
yeah, absolutely.
I'll speak to anyone, especially if you're struggling. I've been in dark places. I've been in shit places of adversity. I always say to people, ask for help, because a lot of people see asking for help as a weakness, but actually, Les Brown. Do you know Les Brown, the motivational speaker?
Yes. Oh God, I love him. I love him. So hungry. Oh, I love it.
I know Les Brown, and he always says to me, ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you wish to remain strong.
Oh God, I could cry. The reason I'm doing this is because of Les Brown and his whole DJing and the fact that he was hungry. This is me being hungry. A TV producer somewhere is going to pick up on what we're doing here one day and put me on the telly. That's Les Brown's fault.
I did a live Zoom session with Les. I got him to come and do a live, and then he did an extra bit for my membership.
Oh, amazing.
About 6 weeks ago. Honestly, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And everyone was like, oh my God, I love this. Because he's always laughing.
Yeah.
He's a really, really great guy. And I was due to go to Atlanta in April to spend some time with him. And then, of course, COVID happened. And
oh, man.
We're not going anywhere. So I'll give him your love.
Oh, please do. Because honestly, I'm a huge fan of his. Huge fan of his. I've got to cry. I can't believe you know him.
No, he's amazing. He's amazing. One of the videos I listened to, I know him through a friend, so we became friends through a friend. But probably for 20 years at least, I've been into Les Brown material. One of the videos I always listen to for inspiration is Dream. If you type it into YouTube, just type in Dream, a video comes up with, it's got Will Smith is the first face that you see, but the narrative over the top is Les Brown. And I listen to that video. If I'm feeling shit and I want to get my ass out of bed and get driven, I put that inspirational video on, and it's Les. And it's weird, even when he calls me now and it comes up on my phone, and I think, Les Brown. Yeah. Like the weirdest thing. But it's
amazing. And it is funny how many people we come into contact in this crazy world, especially when we're online, especially when we're in the coaching field. I look at my phone, it's crazy the people I've got in my phone, and it's just how small the world actually is. And I'm glad.
Who's the most famous person you got on your phone? Can you say even?
No, I'm not allowed to say. I'm not allowed to say because they don't want people to know that they're actually working with someone.
Well, to be fair, Les probably is like, don't tell anyone that we're friends.
Yeah, like shut up.
No, he's cool.
Who else is in me? There's quite a few. My good friend's Natasha Hamilton from Atomic Kitten. I know she doesn't mind me telling people that we do work together and stuff. But the more famous people tend to want me to shut up.
We're not associated.
That's it. I'm not getting help. I just do it on my own.
Don't tell anyone we know each other.
All right, my darling, I'm going to have to go. But thank you so much, Sam Adams, the real life coach, for joining me on the show at Rise Up show this morning.
It's been a lot of fun.
Absolute legend she is. What an incredible show. If you have just joined us, please do go back to the beginning and watch on replay. Sam was dropping the truth and the knowledge bombs all the way through that. What an incredible person. It won't be the last time you see me and Sam having a conversation. I've got no doubt about that in my mind at all. So that's it for this morning. I am now off I'm off to, first of all, I'm going to record some little bits and pieces for something exciting that's coming up. I can't tell you about that just now, but I've got more announcements to come through this week. But I'm off to Lancaster to go and give some blood plasma, to go and give back a little bit today. And then after that, we have got, what have we got going on this week? Shall I tell you who's coming up on the show this week? That's probably a good idea, isn't it? So this week, on the show, tomorrow, we've got the fabulous Stacey Calder from the Business Success Network. We've got the wonderful Beth Foutier joining us on Wednesday. Hilary Dunn is going to be joining us on Thursday, and Sari Taylor on Friday. That is who we've got going on this week. In the meantime, take care of yourself, set your intentions for this week. We've been talking about intentions for the majority of the morning. It's so important to make sure that you have them. My intentions for this week is to make sure that all of my one-to-one clients are caught up with, to make sure that Be Inspired is on its way to becoming the incredible event that it's going to be on the 10th of September. If you've not got your tickets to Be Inspired, go to Eventbrite, type in Be Inspired, and go and grab your tickets at £89 for a day. 10 incredible speakers. We get lunch. We're going to have a dance. We're going to meet up on the other side of all this 10th September, Be Inspired. In the meantime, I'll see y'all later. I love you. I'll see you in the morning with Stacey Calder from the Business Success Network. Mwah.